Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. I'm here, Drew, with TrebleChin Entertainment, and here we go again. It's time to have fun with 5th edition. Now, this time around, we're not just looking at, like, a crazy idea or kind of a weird spin-off type of thing that, hey, maybe this can work. We're going for probably a suboptimal thing, but an interesting concept. This one kind of works. What I propose to you today is, what if, and this is crazy, what if a tank can be a healer? We're going to explore that crazy idea with the builds that I kind of got the idea from, again, World of Warcraft, but not from a character, but just from a character that I play, which is the Holy Paladin in World of Warcraft. To where it's the healer spec, but for a Paladin, which is typically like a tank with the sword and board and holy and righteous authority, or the smack it with holy damage until it is very dead type of Paladin. But then you've got the Holy One, to where you heal things until it can no longer be healed, and then continue to heal it. Now, in D&D, it doesn't typically work like this. That's usually up to the cleric's job to heal it above healing and cry because you had to waste a spell slot on that person. But with the Paladin, it's kind of a more interesting, I would say, approach to healing, because it's sort of like the Mage Slayer. It's less about like outright tanking, or in this case outright healing, than it is like group support and like kind of preventing damage from happening, but also not big bursty heals, but kind of like a nice smooth heal people one at a time when they need it type of person. Which for D&D is a very, very strange concept for anybody to grasp. Because when you look at the Paladin, you think that is the tankiest of tanks. Because he can heal himself, and he'll dish out damage, and he will also just, like, eat a troll shot to the face. He'll eat it and he'll love it, because it's him getting hit, not anybody else. So the Paladin is a little bit weird, because you're gonna be like an upfront person, but with this one you might not like want to go full upfront, because you kind of need to be in a place to where you can get to people nice and quick to like go up and like heal them. Now in the player's handbook, we've got 3 really, really fun choices for Paladin, and initially I thought the Devotion Paladin would probably work for this, because, you know, like, they're your typical protect your allies, be the best tank that you can be. I can enchant my weapon with holy energy and fight with all types of honor. You turn the unholy, you can't be charmed or frightened. You're basically the, like, very stereotypical holy policeman. Which initially I thought was probably the best idea for this character, since, like, Oath of the Ancients, you're like a guardian of nature, which doesn't quite fit this type of thing. It could work, but I felt that it was a little bit too too isolationist, because like you prefer trees over people and whatnot. And then the Vengeance it's just straight damage. There's no healing there. But maybe like besides you. But they're more focused on killing evil things. But lo and behold, this little guy has saved my life once again when me wanting to make something ridiculous and stupid as such, giving me the Oath of the Crown. If you haven't bought this book yet, it is basically like, instead of being like you're part of a holy order that does like blank, like you're the most devoted of people, or you're like part of the you're like the druids guardians of the forest, or like you're the Avenger seeking out evil. The Oath of the Crown is more like the classical cavalier type of paladin. Like you're not necessarily you're not the holiest of beings ever, but instead you're a champion of a kingdom, sort of. So your bonus spells that you get are command, compel, duel, warding bond, zone of truth, aura vitality, spirit guardians, banishment, guardian of faith. Later on it gets a little bit more holy-y, but early on it's very much a very honorable and just instead of holy damage, it just holiness, it just seems like you're more a honorable and wholesome human being more than you have ridiculous holy radiance all about you all the time. That's later on because you're the best in the kingdom, and so the gods have chosen you to be their champion instead of being I'm part of this order, so everybody gets to glow with radiance. This one's you have earned the rights of both your kingdom and your gods, which I think is a little bit cooler than the other ones. Don't get me wrong, my Oath of the Ancients Paladin still has a very warm place in my heart, as he was the Owlbear Knight, and I love that character so much. But the Oath of the Crown, not only is it the champion, but it's also the commander. Their channel divinity is champion challenge, to where you challenge, you do an honor duel. It's sort of a compel duel, but to a lesser extent. If they fail to save, they can't move away from you. It's basically a compend duel without spending a spell slot, which is nice, so you can smite people, because you still get to smite. It's just any other paladin, because paladins are innately holy, but this one I feel it's more, it's less immediate godly here you go, and more this guy seems to be pretty damn wholesome, and he's not shoving it in everyone's face. We'll give him a little bit of power here. So I don't know. And the flavor thing is up to you. That's just what I kind of think in my head when I think the Oath of the Crown, because he's not innately holy and ridiculous. Not yet. But then there's also Turn the Tide for the Channel Divinity, which has a bonus action. You can bolster injured creatures with your Channel Divinity. Each creature of your choice that can hear you within 30 feet gains hit points equal to a d6 plus your Charisma modifier, if it has no more than half its hit points. It becomes basically it's a very specific thing, to where people that are only under half, but it's also a nice little heal that doesn't cost you anything besides your Channel Divinity, which can turn undead, or the compend duel. But other than that, that's a nice heal to just give everybody around you that's near death a little bit of a buffer as a bonus action. So you can go and heal somebody and then turn the tide, and so everybody gets health, which is nice. It is kind of a little bit of a teaser to what the Crown does. At 7th level, whenever a creature within 5 feet of you takes damage, you can use your reaction to just take that damage. You can't negate it in any ways, but it's something very, very paladin-y to do. It's not immediately oh, this is so good. It's oh, I'm taking damage instead of the other person. That doesn't seem right. But as the paladin, you can do that because you have the lay on hands ability, to where you have basically this pool of healing that you can either bonus action to heal yourself, or an action to go and lay your hands upon them and heal them for however much you want. Just kind of as a little boost to their health, or oh shit, this person needs health now, heal them with loads, and then whatever else you can do that turn to help out the party is always nice. But the ability to make it to where, like, your, like, say your wizard or someone doesn't take damage. So if you all kind of stand in, like, a tight space to where, like, maybe you've got, like, your fighter and your rogues, like, up front, and then you've got, like, your wizards or, like, your archers and whatnot behind you, and you're, like, in the middle to where you can stand there and heal everybody all around you, because you still need to touch everything around you. It provides a very nice way to, like, be able to negate damage to people that, like, can't take it. Because, I mean, you're a paladin. You have a pretty steady health pool anyways, and if you, like, bump your con up every now and then, or you just start off with a pretty damn good con, you can take a few hits for the team, and you can even heal them for yourself, because it's a bonus action, and then, like, heal somebody. It's a bonus action to lay on hands for you, but because you also get you have less spell casting than like all other spellcasters, really. But that doesn't really matter with this. It doesn't really matter too much, because some of the paladin abilities they get are, like, really ridiculous. Like, really ridiculous. One of the bonus spells that the Oath of the Crown gets, Aura of Vitality, for concentration up to a minute, healing energy radiates from you in an aura within 30 feet radius. Until the spell ends, the aura moves with you centered on you, and you can use a bonus action to cause one creature in the aura, including you, to regain 2d6 hit points. So once you cast this, like at the beginning of a fight, and it's a third level spell, which you get it at 9th level as a paladin. It's a bit steep for you, but it lasts up to 10 rounds of you using a bonus action to just heal somebody, and you can still use, like, your turn to, like, maybe attack somebody, like attack the creature and smite it, or maybe not, because you're taking a more healer role. You might not want to use as much smites. Or even, like, heal another person. Like, this is just kind of like the buffer heal. That's like, nobody really needs healing besides this guy, but it's not, he doesn't need that much. Well, use that bonus action, heal him for that 2d6, and then you can go about doing whatever else you need to, like going up and whacking it twice, or what have you, and then just, like, moving back. With the paladin, you also get defense, like a fighting style. I'd suggest the protection, because that 5-foot radius is, like, all around you, and so you'll more than likely have a shield out because you're a paladin. That's thematic. Unless you want to have a reach weapon and be, like, the pike fighter, so, like, standing 5 feet behind behind the front line makes more sense, and you can just, like, touch people who are in front of you and behind you nice and easy without, like, going in and out. I mean, that would make sense. I would play that, because I love pole arms so much. I'm a Gygaxian, sort of, in that term. But then you've also, like, for other, like, paladin-y healing spells, like, you've got the typical cure wounds. You've got heroism to, like, give. Let's say, like, you choose your fighter, you can give him, like, 5 temporary hit points per turn. Just, like, cast that. I think it's a concentration, so, like, if you're not needing the Aura of Vitality right now, like, you can do that as a first level spell and give your frontline fighter a little bit of a buff at, like, every turn, because it refreshes, like, 5 hit points, and, like, they're used maybe, and then 5 more hit points. If they're not used, I think it goes away. But it's like a nice little buffer. So they're not, the healer paladin is not too much of, like, a heal all of the damage and everybody is going to be fine. It's like it's more of, like, a more supporting role, to where it kind of puts them in this weird middle ground of being, like, not healer enough to be a full-blown healer, but, like, they're a little bit spread thin to be, like, specialized in something. Because, like, they can deal damage like any other Paladin could, and like they can do they can take some pretty big hits, especially with the Paladin. I think it's Aura of Courage, I believe it's called. No, Aura of Protection at 6th level, to where you and your party basically gain your Charisma modifier in all saving throws. So if you have a damn good Charisma save, you've basically given everybody plus ridiculous amounts on every save. Charisma, I would say, is more of your primary stat with this one instead of like Strength or Con. Be the most charisma-iest of paladins out there, and you'll probably be fine. I mean, later on you get the Cleansing Touch, to where you can end a spell on a creature. Let me know if you think this character is interesting enough to play as, or if you think that this is just a total garbage idea and nobody should play this ever. It does kind of require you to get the other book or look up what the Oath of the Crown does. Because honestly, I think the Oath of the Crown is like my favorite paladin thing, and like the Oath of the Ancients is behind that, and the other two, they're like your typical things. They're good. Like they're probably better than what I would do, but hey, I have a show about taking something ridiculously stupid and making it fun with 5th edition. So, let me know what you thought about this video in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. Tell us how we're doing with this show. Give me your feedback. We want you to be as much of this channel as much as we are, so we can help this channel grow and output your input to make the channel better. I'm Drew, here with TrebleChin Entertainment, and always, lay them hands. And have fun with 5th edition. I'll see you guys later.